say, kids? What time is it?
Hey, it's Edson from GeekTime TV. So the first issue of BRZRKR finally came out. This is a comic co-written by none other than Keanu Reeves. We were first introduced to this by last year's highly successful Kickstarter campaign for the collected editions. That made over $1,400,000, and obviously that had a lot to do with Keanu's popularity. But he's a perfect person to be involved in this type of project. He knows how to do action scenes, and more importantly, he's a genuine comic book fan. He grew up reading them. You could see from when he's talking about it, he's doing something he loves. This is a 12-issue series published by Boom Studios. Matt Kind, veteran comic book writer, is co-writing with Keanu, and the artist is Ron Garney. The coloring is done by Bill Crabtree, with Clem Robbins doing the lettering. The first issue was originally supposed to come out last October, but there were some delays, and they had to reschedule it to just this March. And the sales on this first issue was a pretty staggering number, over 600,000 and counting, 600,000 copies sold and counting. That's a remarkable number, considering that's in addition to what they made on the Kickstarter campaign. By comparison, Marvel and DC's most popular titles barely reach 100,000 these days, if they're lucky. Maybe when they have something new that's highly anticipated from one of their endless reboots, that might reach around 200,000 and 300,000. The only thing I can think of in recent memory is last year's Batman 3 Jokers. That reached 300,000, but still, that's not even that's barely half of what BRZRKR #1 has sold. It's like when you have something like this that's been hyped for so long, it's highly anticipated, and then you add the delay. Usually, something like this might have a hard time to live up to the expectations, but I have to say I was not disappointed. So the story is about this immortal warrior who looks very much like Keanu Reeves himself. What an astounding coincidence that is. He's basically a relentless killing machine. He's helping out the U.S. military on their missions, and in exchange, they're trying to help him find mortality. He wants to be, mortal like everyone else. Almost immediately, you see him tear through the enemy soldiers with extreme violence. He starts off using guns just like the soldiers with him, but quickly changes to what's clearly his best weapons, which is his own two hands. He punches gaping holes through men's chests. He tears off their jaws. He crushes their heads. At one point, he rips someone's arm off and beats him with it. At the same time, he's able to shrug off bullets and other weapons damage. He even walks away from an explosion resulting from when he rams a Jeep right at an airplane, and he obviously walks away from it. It does look like he does suffer some damage. You see he does bleed, and he's burning from the explosion, but it's obvious he's able to heal from it pretty quickly. The violence is pretty graphic. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but this story is not just about the senseless violence. There is a depth to this character. We find out that he's been around for many years. He says that he remembers what the victims of the Dark Plague smelt like, and he talks about how things were the conditions during the American Revolutionary War, but he can't remember who he really is or where he came from. We only really know him by the name of Berserker at this point. We don't get any other name for him, at least not in this issue, probably because he himself doesn't remember it. He doesn't understand what type of being he is, that he has this incredible invulnerability and immortality. He is desperate to become mortal, not because he's suicidal. He doesn't want to kill himself, but he just wants to have mortality, like everyone else. The doctor that he's working with tells him that there's something different about this mission. She monitored unusual spikes in his hormonal levels and asks him what could have caused this. And at this moment, he flashes back to a point when he's just at the target, which is he kills the president of an unspecified country, which was seemingly the target of this mission. And at that moment, this little boy, the civilian, happens to see that, and looking at this boy's face triggers this new memory for him. And he pauses as he's looking at him. Meanwhile, one of the other American soldiers that's there on the mission kills the boy, saying that there's no witnesses. Berserker looks at the soldier as if what the heck are you doing? It doesn't seem like he approves of that, but he doesn't really do anything about it. Probably because he's thinking about the new memory he's having. He doesn't tell the doctor about the incident with the boy, but he does talk about the memory that he invoked. He says he remembers his father. He remembers being born 80,000 years ago. And obviously that's something new that we're discovering about him. And I think this incident with the boy is going to have much deeper implications other than the memory that it triggered. It tells you that these military missions are not exactly on the up and up. They're going around killing innocent civilians. I don't think Berserker approved of killing the boy, obviously, and I think it's going to spell trouble for the people trying to control him. Ron Garney's art is it's just perfect for this type of action comic. It obviously knows how to deal with violent scenes invoking a visceral reaction. He details the impact of every punch, the explosive damage of the bullets. The pacing of the story is very fast. Never stops moving forward as Berserker stampedes through his mission. And at the end, you get this hook, this glimpse into this mysterious character's origin of it's that memory that he discovered. He remembers him as being part of being born into people from a long time ago, where they're living in huts and using crude primitive weapons and tools. So, and that's the end. You get the hook for the second issue. This creative team, if they're able to keep up the momentum of this issue into the rest of the series, this is going to be a great read. If you're not offended by the graphic nature of the violence, I highly recommend reading the comic. You definitely will not be bored. And I'm personally looking forward to issue number 2. Okay, that's it for me. If you like this video, please subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help us grow the channel. And I thank you for watching, and talk to you soon.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?